Good morning, everyone. Life is a journey, and along this journey, we all seek success, happiness, and fulfillment. But the road to success is rarely straight, and it often requires us to follow certain principles. Rules, if you will, that guide us toward a life well lived. Today, I want to share with you 6 rules to help you win in life. In life, whether in our personal endeavors or professional pursuits, we are often told to set goals, make plans, and take action. These are all crucial steps to success, but there's one fundamental element that many of us overlook or fail to give enough attention to: understanding why we do what we do. This is the starting point. Before we can embark on any journey or make any significant decision, it's essential to take a moment to reflect on our purpose, our deeper motivation, the reason behind it all. Starting with why is not just a suggestion, it's the foundation for meaningful success in everything we pursue. When we think about starting with why, we are looking beyond the surface of our goals or objectives. It's easy to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be wealthy, or I want to achieve this milestone. But those are just the end results, and often if we don't have a clear why, we can find ourselves reaching those goals only to feel unfulfilled. We might achieve what we set out to do, but still feel like something is missing, like the destination didn't live up to the vision we had in our minds. The why serves as the deeper purpose that fuels your journey, and it's what ensures that the path you're on leads to genuine fulfillment. Great leaders, visionaries, and innovators throughout history have always understood the power of knowing their why. Think about iconic figures like Steve Jobs, Nelson Mandela, or even Martin Luther King Jr. These individuals were not simply chasing external achievements, they were driven by a purpose that went far beyond personal gain. Steve Jobs, for example, didn't just create products. He wanted to put a dent in the universe by changing the way people interacted with technology. His purpose was clear, and it was tied to his why. That clarity of purpose allowed him to lead Apple, to become a company that revolutionized the tech industry, not because he was fixated on financial gain, but because he was driven by a vision of innovation that was bigger than himself. Nelson Mandela's fight against apartheid wasn't about personal power or recognition. His why was rooted in the belief in equality and justice for all. It was that unshakable sense of purpose that kept him resilient in the face of incredible adversity, allowing him to remain steadfast in his commitment to end oppression, even when it meant spending 27 years in prison. The reason understanding your why is so powerful is that it gives you clarity and direction. When you understand why you're pursuing something, it helps you align your actions with your deeper values. It allows you to make decisions that are consistent with who you are at your core. Imagine trying to climb a mountain without knowing why you're climbing it. Every step becomes a struggle, and it's easy to lose motivation or get off course. But when you know your why, every step is purposeful, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, and every setback is merely a temporary obstacle on the way to something greater. Knowing your why also helps you inspire others. As a leader, whether in business, a team, or your personal life, if you can articulate and embody your why, you create a sense of connection and trust. People are drawn to leaders who have a clear sense of purpose because it gives them something to believe in. If you're simply focused on the what, the tasks, the results, or the to-do list, people may follow because they have to, but they won't be emotionally invested. But if you lead with why, you inspire passion and commitment in those around you. You invite others to join you on a shared journey, one that's about more than just achieving goals. It's about making a meaningful difference. Starting with why also gives you the strength to face adversity. Life is full of challenges, and no path is without its obstacles. But when you have a clear understanding of your purpose, it gives you the strength to persevere. It helps you see beyond temporary difficulties and stay focused on the bigger picture. Challenges that might have otherwise been discouraging become opportunities to demonstrate resilience, and you develop a deeper sense of confidence in your ability to navigate difficult times. Understanding your why can help you prioritize and eliminate distractions. We live in a world that is full of noise, endless options, opportunities, and pressures that can pull us in many different directions. But when you're clear on your purpose, you become more selective with where you invest your time, energy, and resources. You know which opportunities align with your goals and which ones are simply distractions. It brings clarity to decision making, helping you stay focused on what truly matters. So, before you dive into the next project, career change, or life decision, ask yourself, why do I want this? What's the deeper purpose behind my actions? It's not always easy to uncover your why, but when you do, it will be the guiding force that propels you forward. By starting with why, you lay the groundwork for a life of meaning, success, and fulfillment. It's the difference between pursuing something because it's expected and pursuing something because it's what you truly believe in. We often hear the phrase, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And while this might sound like a cliche, there is profound truth in it. Too often, we get so fixated on reaching a specific goal or achieving a particular outcome that we forget the true value lies in the process itself. The destination is important, but it is the journey, the day-to-day experiences, the lessons learned, and the growth we undergo that shapes who we are and determines our long-term success and happiness. In our fast-paced world, we are conditioned to value the end result above all else. Society places a significant emphasis on achievements and outcomes. We are told to chase after milestones, whether it's graduating from college, landing a dream job, building a successful business, or reaching a certain financial goal. These are all worthy aspirations, but too often we get so focused on these distant milestones that we forget to appreciate the steps we take to get there. When we focus solely on the end goal, we risk missing the richness of the experience along the way. The reality is that we spend far more time on the journey than we do at the destination. Let's take a simple example. Your career. Many people work for years, sometimes decades, with their eyes fixed on a specific position or level of success. Once they reach that point, they may feel accomplished for a short time, but then they quickly begin searching for the next goal. The goalposts constantly move. And in the process, they may overlook the personal growth, the connections made, and the wisdom gained along the way. These are the things that shape our character and influence our future decisions. If we fail to embrace the journey, we might find ourselves reaching our destination and feeling unfulfilled because we've ignored the very experiences that could have made the goal worthwhile. The journey is where transformation happens. It's where we encounter challenges that teach us valuable lessons. Every obstacle we face forces us to develop resilience, to adapt and to grow. Whether it's an unexpected setback, a personal failure, or a difficult decision, these moments of struggle are the times when we learn the most about ourselves. It's during these times that we refine our strengths, confront our weaknesses, and develop the courage to keep moving forward. Without these moments, there is no personal growth. Success without struggle can often feel shallow and hollow. It is the tough times, the failures, the disappointments that deepen our understanding and make the eventual success even more meaningful. The journey allows us to discover our true passions, talents, and desires. When we are constantly chasing the next big thing, we can easily overlook what truly lights us up. But when we slow down and focus on the process, we give ourselves the space to reflect and discover what truly matters. Along the way, we might find that our initial goal evolves or changes entirely. What we thought we wanted may not be what we need. Embracing the journey opens us up to new possibilities and gives us the freedom to pivot when necessary. Another critical aspect of the journey is the relationships we build along the way. Life is not meant to be lived alone, and our experiences are enriched by the people we meet and the connections we make. Whether it's a mentor, a colleague, a friend, or a family member, the people who walk with us on our journey provide support, encouragement, and perspective. They challenge us when we need it and offer us a different viewpoint when we get stuck. These relationships are often more valuable than the destination itself. It's the bonds we form and the lessons we learn from others that make the journey worth living. If we're only focused on the end result, we may miss the opportunity to build these meaningful connections. One of the biggest misconceptions about focusing solely on the destination is that we believe it will provide us with lasting happiness. There's a common belief that once we achieve our goal, we'll finally feel complete, content, or successful. But the truth is, happiness doesn't lie at the end of the journey. It is found in the process. When we focus on the journey, we can savor the small victories along the way. Every accomplishment, every new skill learned, and every challenge overcome becomes part of the overall experience. These moments of joy, growth, and accomplishment are what add up to a fulfilling life. Embracing the journey allows us to live in the present. So often we get caught up in worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. But by focusing on the steps we are taking right now, we can cultivate mindfulness and presence. Each step, no matter how small, becomes significant because it brings us closer to our ultimate goal while simultaneously helping us appreciate the beauty of the process. It's also important to recognize that the journey doesn't have to be a linear path. We might take detours, change directions, or face periods of uncertainty. These moments are not failures, but opportunities for growth. The destination may shift, and that's okay. The important thing is to remain open and adaptable, to embrace the detours as part of the larger picture. Life is rarely a straight line, and sometimes the detours lead us to places we never imagined, enriching our experience in ways we couldn't have planned. So when you set out to accomplish something, whether it's a personal goal or a professional one, remember that the journey is just as important, if not more so, than the destination. It's the process that shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the next stage of your life. Success is not found solely in achieving your goals, but in fully living through the experiences, challenges, and moments that define the journey. Embrace each step, learn from each setback, and cherish each connection along the way. The destination will be all the more meaningful because of it. In a world that often values perfection, we can easily fall into the trap of believing that success requires flawless execution. Many people strive for perfection, believing that if they just get everything right, if they perfect every step, every decision, every moment, then success will follow. However, the truth is that perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. No one is perfect, and expecting perfection from yourself or others will only lead to frustration and disappointment. What truly leads to success in the long run is consistency. Being consistent means showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't have all the answers, and even when things aren't going perfectly. It's the ability to stay committed to your goals and values, regardless of the obstacles that might come your way. Consistency isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about making progress, no matter how small, and continuing to move forward with intention. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is its ability to build momentum. When you commit to something and consistently put in the effort, you start to build a rhythm. This rhythm becomes the foundation for your success. Each small action, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, contributes to a larger pattern of growth. Over time, this pattern compounds and you begin to see results. The more you show up, the more you learn, the more you grow. Consistency is a key ingredient in making progress, even when the results aren't immediate or obvious. It's about trusting the process, knowing that every small step brings you closer to where you want to be. In many ways, consistency is more important than perfection because it's sustainable. Perfection, on the other hand, can be exhausting. It demands an unreasonable amount of energy and focus, and even when you think you've achieved perfection, there's always the pressure to maintain it. Perfection is a moving target. It's subjective and often unattainable. Trying to achieve it can leave you paralyzed with fear of making mistakes or falling short. This fear of failure can stop you from taking action altogether, leaving you stuck in place. But consistency doesn't require you to be flawless. It doesn't require you to do everything right. In fact, consistency thrives on imperfection. The key to being consistent is understanding that mistakes are part of the process. When you're consistent, you don't expect perfection, and you don't let setbacks derail you. Instead, you view mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. The focus is on showing up, improving little by little, and embracing the fact that failure is not a sign of defeat, it's a necessary part of growth. Consider the example of someone training for a marathon. The person who trains consistently, running a little bit each day, will see gradual improvements in their endurance and speed. The person who is only focused on running the perfect race and never makes time for regular training may wait until the day of the marathon to try to run 26 miles. That person may struggle, injure themselves, or fail to finish the race. The person who practices regularly, even on days when they don't feel like it, will be prepared for the challenge. Consistency allows you to build the strength, the stamina, and the skills necessary to succeed. Consistency fosters trust. When you show up consistently, whether in your personal or professional life, people begin to trust you. They know they can count on you, even when things are tough or when the going gets hard. This trust is invaluable. It strengthens relationships and opens doors for new opportunities. Being someone who can be counted on, who doesn't give up when things get difficult, creates a reputation of reliability and dependability. And this kind of trust is built over time through consistent actions, not through occasional bursts of brilliance. Consistency builds self-confidence. When you show up consistently and do the work, you start to build trust in yourself. You begin to see that you are capable of achieving your goals, even when things are challenging. This confidence fuels further action, creating a positive feedback loop. When you know you can rely on yourself to keep going, even when things aren't perfect, you become more resilient in the face of obstacles. The people we surround ourselves with have an immense impact on our lives. They shape our beliefs, influence our actions, and play a pivotal role in determining our success and happiness. Yet, many of us don't fully realize how crucial the right environment is until we find ourselves surrounded by negativity or stagnation. The truth is, if you want to grow, thrive, and achieve your goals, it's essential to surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. Think about the people in your life right now, your friends, family, colleagues, and mentors. Are they lifting you up? Are they encouraging you to be the best version of yourself? Or are they pulling you down, criticizing your dreams, or constantly feeding you doubt? The energy and attitude of those around you can either propel you forward or hold you back. When you surround yourself with people who believe in you and your potential, you create a positive feedback loop. These individuals help you see possibilities that you might not have noticed on your own. They remind you of your strengths when you are feeling unsure, and they challenge you to aim higher. They celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and support you through your challenges. Their belief in you becomes a source of strength when your own belief falters. A great example of this is the concept of a growth circle, or a group of people who share similar aspirations and values. This could include mentors, like-minded friends, or people you admire in your industry. When you have a strong, supportive network, you can share ideas, brainstorm solutions to problems, and hold each other accountable. This sense of community fosters a growth mindset, where everyone is focused on continuous improvement and helping one another succeed. Having people who share your goals can make the pursuit of those goals less daunting because you know you have others by your side. Surrounding yourself with people who bring negativity or who are content with mediocrity can be detrimental to your progress. Negative individuals may not intentionally try to bring you down, but their attitudes can be contagious. Constantly hearing about their fears, doubts, and complaints can create an environment where you start to question your own dreams and potential. Over time, this negativity can sap your motivation and drive, leaving you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and complacency. The people you associate with influence the standards you set for yourself. If you spend most of your time with people who are content with living a life of mediocrity, you may unconsciously adopt that mindset. You may start to believe that settling for just enough is okay, and that striving for greatness is too difficult or unrealistic. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are constantly pushing themselves to be better, it raises your own standards. You begin to see what's possible when you stretch your limits, and you start to hold yourself to a higher level of accountability. It's also important to note that being around the right people can provide you with invaluable opportunities. Networking, whether it's professionally or personally, can open doors that you may have never encountered on your own. People who lift you up often offer introductions, advice, and connections that help you advance in your career or personal endeavors. These connections aren't always immediate, but over time, they build trust and open up avenues for collaboration and growth. The right people introduce you to new ideas, challenge your thinking, and offer fresh perspectives that can help you reach your goals faster. Surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals doesn't mean only associating with people who agree with everything you say or never challenge you. Constructive criticism and healthy debates are vital for growth. However, it's important to distinguish between people who challenge you to think critically and those who constantly try to tear you down. People who challenge you from a place of respect and love push you to improve, while people who are negative or dismissive often aim to discourage you or hold you back. One of the most valuable aspects of being around people who lift you up is the emotional and mental support they provide during difficult times. We all face setbacks, whether it's a failure in our career, a personal loss, or a moment of self-doubt. During these moments, the right people can offer comfort, guidance, and a reminder that we are not alone. They can help us keep perspective, remind us of our strengths, and give us the encouragement we need to keep moving forward. Without this support, it's easy to spiral into negativity and give up on our dreams. Building a network of people who lift you up takes time and intentional effort. It requires you to be discerning about who you let into your inner circle. You have to be willing to let go of toxic relationships, even if they've been part of your life for a long time. It's important to recognize when a relationship is draining you more than it's adding value. Cutting ties with people who don't support your growth is not an easy decision, but it's necessary if you want to surround yourself with positivity and encouragement. At the same time, building strong, positive relationships requires effort on your part as well. It's not just about receiving support, it's also about offering it. Being the kind of person who lifts others up, offers encouragement, and challenges your friends and colleagues to be their best self creates a reciprocal relationship of mutual support. The people you surround yourself with will significantly impact your journey. By choosing to surround yourself with people who inspire, uplift, and challenge you, you set yourself up for growth, success, and fulfillment. These are the individuals who will push you to new heights, celebrate your wins, and provide the support you need during the tough times. They are the ones who will help you become the best version of yourself. One of the most empowering lessons we can learn in life is the importance of focusing on what we can control. In a world full of uncertainty, challenges, and external forces, it's easy to become overwhelmed by what is beyond our reach. We often get bogged down by the things that don't go our way, fixating on situations and circumstances that are entirely outside of our control. This can leave us feeling helpless, frustrated, and disillusioned. However, the key to overcoming these obstacles and achieving success is to shift our focus back to what we can influence, the actions, decisions, and attitudes within our control. The first step in focusing on what you can control is recognizing that there are always two categories: the things you can change and the things you can't. Acknowledging this distinction is critical because it helps you avoid wasting energy on the things that won't make a difference. For example, you cannot control the weather, other people's actions, or global events. These are all external forces that may influence your life, but they are not things you can directly affect. On the other hand, you can control how you respond to these external forces. You can control your attitude, your mindset, your actions, and your decisions in any given situation. It's easy to slip into a mindset of frustration when things don't go the way we want. We might find ourselves obsessing over things like missed opportunities, unfulfilled expectations, or the actions of others. But when we focus on what we cannot control, we waste precious energy on things that don't serve us. Instead of stressing over a decision someone else made, we can choose to focus on how we respond. Instead of fixating on a setback, we can control how we use it as an opportunity to grow and learn. When we focus on what we can control, we empower ourselves to take proactive steps rather than remaining passive or reactive in the face of challenges. Another powerful aspect of focusing on what you can control is that it allows you to take ownership of your life. Life will always present challenges, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth. But when you focus on what is within your control, you take responsibility for your journey. You stop waiting for the perfect circumstances or external validation and start taking action, regardless of the obstacles. This mindset shift from external to internal control is incredibly freeing because it puts the power back in your hands. You become the architect of your own life, rather than a passive observer waiting for things to happen to you. Consider, for instance, a situation at work where a project doesn't go as planned. It can be easy to blame external factors like a lack of resources, an uncooperative team, or difficult clients. While these factors may play a role in the outcome, they are not entirely within your control. What is within your control is how you respond to the situation. You can choose to take responsibility for your part, seek solutions, and move forward with a constructive mindset. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you can focus on what you can do to improve, learn from the experience, and grow stronger. The ability to focus on the controllable aspects of any situation enables you to take positive action even when things are tough. Focusing on what you can control also helps reduce feelings of anxiety and stress. When we feel overwhelmed by things outside of our control, we often experience a sense of helplessness. The more we ruminate on these uncontrollable factors, the more anxious we become. But by consciously shifting our focus to the areas where we have influence, we regain a sense of agency. We realize that we don't have to react to every external event with stress or worry. Instead, we can focus on the decisions we can make, the habits we can cultivate, and the behaviors we can change. By taking control of our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we break free from the cycle of stress and start moving toward a more peaceful, empowered state of mind. One of the most effective ways to focus on what you can control is through the development of personal habits. Your habits shape your life more than anything else. While you cannot control every circumstance that comes your way, you can control how you prepare for and respond to those circumstances through your habits. For example, if you develop a habit of regular exercise, healthy eating, and mindfulness, you are building a foundation that supports your well-being, regardless of external factors. If you focus on building consistent habits in areas like time management, communication, and emotional regulation, you set yourself up for success in any situation. Consistency in your habits gives you a sense of control because you are actively shaping the direction of your life. Even on days when things feel chaotic or unpredictable, knowing that you have control over your actions provides a sense of stability. The more you invest in building positive habits, the more you reinforce your ability to control the outcomes in your life, even in the face of uncertainty. When you focus on what you can control, you also become more resilient. Life will always throw challenges your way, and you can't always predict what will happen. But by focusing on how you respond to those challenges, you build the emotional resilience necessary to face adversity with grace. When you choose to focus on the controllable aspects of your life, such as your mindset, your effort, and your attitude, you develop a stronger sense of self and the confidence to handle whatever comes your way. Focusing on what you can control is about empowerment. It's about taking back your power from external forces and using it to shape your own journey. It's about accepting that while you can't control everything, you do have control over how you approach each day, how you respond to challenges, and how you show up in the world. When you stop focusing on the uncontrollable and put your energy into the areas where you have influence, you begin to realize that you have the ability to create a life that aligns with your values, your goals, and your vision. By focusing on what you can control, you not only take charge of your actions and reactions, but you also open up space for growth, peace, and clarity. Instead of stressing over the unknowns, you become a proactive force in your own life. The more you practice this mindset, the more you will see how much power you truly have. The most powerful thing you can do to achieve your goals and live a fulfilling life is to take consistent action. It doesn't matter how well you plan, how much you dream, or how many resources you have. Without action, nothing happens. The idea of taking action might sound simple, but it is one of the most important and often overlooked principles of success. Many people fall into the trap of overthinking, planning, or waiting for the perfect moment. But the reality is that the act of moving forward, even imperfectly, is what drives progress. Taking action is not just about doing something, it's about making progress toward your goals, no matter how small the steps might seem. The key to success is not waiting until everything is perfectly aligned or until you feel completely ready. It's about committing to the process and taking that first step, even when the path ahead seems unclear or intimidating. The truth is, the longer you wait for the perfect conditions or the ideal moment to act, the more likely you are to miss opportunities or become paralyzed by fear and doubt. Taking action also involves embracing the fact that failure and setbacks are part of the process. Often, people shy away from taking action because they fear failure or mistakes. However, failure is not something to avoid, it's something to learn from. Every successful person has faced failure at some point. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is their ability to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. And taking action means being willing to fail, learn, and adjust along the way. In fact, every failure is an opportunity to refine your approach, build resilience, and gain valuable experience. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for perfect execution, especially in a world where success stories often highlight people who seem to have it all figured out. However, the reality is that most successful people didn't get to where they are by sitting on the sidelines. They got there by acting, taking risks, and pushing through obstacles. Every small action they took, whether it was sending an email, making a phone call, or learning a new skill, helped them move closer to their goals. The importance of consistent action cannot be overstated. One of the most common reasons people fail to achieve their goals is because they give up too soon. They start with enthusiasm, but when the initial excitement fades, or when they face difficulties, they stop moving forward. Success is rarely immediate. It's built through consistent effort over time. Small actions, compounded day by day, lead to significant results. It's like planting a seed and nurturing it. While it might seem like nothing is happening at first, with consistent care and attention, growth eventually occurs. Taking action allows you to refine your goals and vision. The more you act, the clearer your understanding of what works and what doesn't becomes. You begin to understand the nuances of your field, your passions, and the obstacles you face. This understanding is gained not through thinking or strategizing endlessly, but through the practical experience of taking steps, observing the outcomes, and adjusting as needed. Each action you take brings you closer to your true vision because it helps you learn and evolve